Welcome to Gen X TrustFall, the podcast dedicated to planned and unplanned midlife changes and the ability to trust in the unknown. I'm Carla Loomis. In today's episode, I chatted with my bestie, Ann Davis, about our lifelong friendship and aging parents. Later, I spoke with my kind of cousin, Ann Caetano, about her journey from fashion executive to hometown newspaper creator and editor. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you enjoy. Playdate with Annie Markham. So we were 7, I think.
Yeah. Our moms kind of met too, and maybe our mom set a play date up because we weren't in the same class.
Okay.
That was in the first grade, but second grade, we were in the same class, and that's when we really got super close.
That's 50 years that we've been friends. 50 years.
Yeah. Yes.
I think everyone should have a friend like you because you will support me no matter what.
Yes, likewise. And venting, I could say anything. I could tell you anything, and you're not going to be judgy.
No. You couldn't. You could go on a murdering spree, and I would still be like, Anne, I'm sure you had a good reason for that. I know your heart was in the right place, even though you killed those people. Okay, so we established we've been friends forever. We know all of the bad things that each other has done that we'll never tell other people.
Right.
We know.
And there's been a lot.
We know all the secrets, and
we know where all the bones are.
Yes. So I think it's good to have one person because we can always you could write my biography. I could probably write your biography.
Yes.
If we can't do it ourselves, then I think that's a good thing. And now that we're older, we get to grow old together.
Yes.
It's
all the little pictures I see on Facebook of the old couples. I think that's Carla and I.
Yeah, I agree.
We're going to be those old ladies.
I agree. Your parents are a little older than mine because
yes,
I'm the oldest.
My mom is 92.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, your mom is about 8 years older than mine. And so you kind of have gone through some of the stuff that I'm going through. You went through it with your dad a little bit, right?
Yes, my dad first.
Aging
and then my mother.
Yeah. And is it what you thought it was going to be? Taking care of your aging parents? Is that what you thought was going to happen?
No. When my parents said that they were moving, I was devastated. They told all of us that because my dad had beginning stages of dementia, they felt the need to move closer to one of us. So they decided Memphis. And so my brother was in Midtown Memphis. My sister was in Cordova, which is about half an hour outside of Memphis.
Okay.
And so they drove all the way to Memphis.
Wow.
In my dad's brand new Prius with beginning stages of dementia. Gradually, my dad couldn't do numbers and things like that. He set up an office in his house in Memphis because he still thought he was working.
Okay.
So he would still sit down at his desk every day and work. But gradually, over the years, he got worse. We had cameras. My brother installed cameras in the living room and the bedroom. 1, because we had a lot of caretakers coming in and out.
Yeah.
And 2, so we could watch them. So we would all tune in to the Ed and Margaret show and watch them.
Oh my gosh.
And one day I called, and they had these little chairs side by side in the living room. And I would always tune in to see if they were busy before I called.
Yeah.
So they were both sitting there. So I called and I said, Mom, how's it going? She said, oh, just terrible. Daddy won't keep his clothes on. And she said, we just got out of the bedroom. I made him put all his clothes back on. And I said, Mom, I hate to tell you this because my mom's blind, but he's naked again because I could see him in the camera. And she looked at him. You could tell she was so pissed off. I'm all, just let him be naked. Throw a blanket on him. When he did die, I thought about tuning in the camera because when he was on his deathbed, I would tune it in so tight, the focus, so I could see him breathe.
Oh my gosh.
But when he died, I couldn't tune in. I was by myself and I couldn't do it. I wanted to, but I couldn't.
I don't think I could
My
do that
sister-in-law
either.
told me they did watch.
Oh
they
my
watched.
gosh.
They saw the coroner come in. They saw my brother and sister. They did watch.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't watch. But first time in her whole life she'd ever lived alone. My brother is extremely nurturing and very caring.
Right.
So he's the perfect guy.
Do you think any of your kids are going to take care of you?
I mean, I hope so.
Which one?
Well, I see benefits to all four of them.
Yeah.
Probably depend on what everybody's situation is, too, at that time.
Yeah.
Stockpile some money for your kids to take care of you.
That for sure.
That's where my thought is right now. My uncle, who never had children and has been widowed for many years, recently was diagnosed with dementia.
Right.
So my brother and I, who are the only ones that live close, we've had to come in and take care of him.
Oh my
and
God.
now we find out he doesn't have a lot of money. So we're looking at each other like, how are we going to take care of this dude?
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
And
we've had to hire caretakers.
Aren't they the greatest generation or something? Like, weren't they supposed to look and figure this out?
You didn't save any money?
Nothing?
You didn't save any money?
Wow.
A little bit. Not enough for caretakers cost $45 an hour. In here. In Memphis, they're $25.
Right.
But over here, they're $45.
Right.
So the past couple of months, we spent $25,000.
Oh my God. Yeah, so he did no planning for
and
himself?
The house is falling apart. No, and the house is falling apart.
Don't you move him in with you?
Yeah,
No,
he wouldn't. He would not. He was born into that house.
Oh my
He
God.
will not. He said he wants to die in that house. If we put him in a retirement, we'd have to rent the house. We can't even rent the house unless we put at least 10 grand into it.
Right.
First day we left him alone, we had someone checking on him, and she called and said all the medication was gone. And his teeth, and we still don't know we found the teeth. We still don't know what happened to the medication, but that's when we knew he needed. But my brother and I decided, whatever he wants to do, let him do it.
Yeah.
If he wants to hide his phones, let him hide his phones. If he wants to hide his wallet and his teeth, let him do it. If he wants to run around the backyard naked, let him do it.
Right.
He's not hurting anyone.
Exactly.
Everybody in that town knows him.
Yeah.
So if he does wander, someone's going to find him.
Yeah.
They all know him. Half the neighborhood has our phone number.
Right.
It's fine.
Right.
It's just leave him be. We're not going to get cameras. Yeah. We don't want to be notified every time he makes a move.
You don't want to see him naked.
Don't want to see him naked.
Yeah. Those images never go away.
They don't
go away. I saw some stuff.
No.
I've had nightmares about my body looking like an old body, and I was so happy to wake up.
I don't know if my house is burning down or something, but
all right, well, I'll let you go. Thanks, love you. We good? Okay. So we are, what would you call it?
Well, let's see. Your grandmother married my uncle.
Yes.
So she would have been my aunt, which means you would have been my cousin.
Yes. Yeah.
And they got married at 80, right?
I know. And it was such a fun wedding.
I know. Your great-grandmother was alive because I remember one of my sisters telling Uncle Augie, "Oh my God, you have a mother-in-law."
And she was 100 and walked down the aisle. I mean,
Yes.
I never saw that woman in a wheelchair. Your Uncle Augie made my grandmother so happy.
And she made him so happy. They had a blast together.
They did. I think that was probably the best 10 years of her life. Wow. Because she was 90.
When she passed away, she was 90.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was pretty quick. Like,
that's good.
Yeah. They were so cute. They were the same height.
They were cute.
And they were just adorable.
And they traveled everywhere.
They
Remember
did.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So my Uncle Augie, my mother, was number 6 out of 6. And Uncle Augie was the oldest and Mom was the youngest. So they were 20 years apart.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
And my grandma was the oldest.
Okay.
Of her 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there were 8. The funniest story about those two is one night we're at, I don't know if it was Thanksgiving or something, and we're sitting around the table and they start talking about a movie that they had just seen, and my grandma says, "Augie, do you remember that movie we watched the other night?" And he said, "Oh yeah, that was the damnedest movie." And my grandma said, what was the name of it?" And he goes, "I think it was called Porky's." And whatever my brother had in his mouth, I think it came flying out across the table.
Oh my God.
That was the raunchiest movie.
It was.
It was so, and just that's one of my favorite memories of.
Oh my
because
God.
Augie was just laughing. Yeah, that was the damnedest movie. Like, I bet.
Oh my God. Now I want to watch Porky's again. I remember it was super raunchy.
So raunchy.
What an inspiration, those two.
Yeah, I know. Well, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Will you kind of introduce yourself and...
Yeah, so we grew up in the same county, and I went to Hollister High, and I moved to San Francisco, and went to the Fashion Institute, and worked for iMagnin.
Ooh.
I was in San Francisco for 11 years, loved it, thought I'd never leave.
Yeah.
iMagnin closed, so I went to New York to work for Saks Fifth Avenue.
Oh my gosh.
And I loved it. Oh, even before that, when I was in high school, I worked at the watering trough for Betty Sharp in San Juan, a little clothing store.
Yeah.
So I always loved it. It was a lot of fun. I was always really grateful that I loved what I did because I knew a lot of people were like, "Oh, I hate my job."
Yeah.
So I moved to New York. I worked for Saks, and I did very well. And I got promoted a lot and traveled the world on their dime. And I traveled the world like, in a really nice fashion.
Wow.
Loved my job, and I worked my way up the ranks to a vice president of merchandising, and it was a lot of fun.
In high school? So I didn't really know you in high school.
No, we knew who each other were.
Yeah. And you were a couple years older than I was, and you had style, like of Hollister High, because back in the 80s, like everyone dressed the same, everyone had the same, and you didn't. You kind of stood out. Like, I think of you like as the Cyndi Lauper kind of, because I was trying to think, because you were just like, you looked really fun. You were always happy. You were always kind of bopping around. That was my memory of you, is kind of that Cyndi Lauper, Madonna type of like standing out a little bit. You stood out, I think.
Life has been good to me. I've been blessed, very blessed. So, because I was 6 out of 7 kids. So by the time because my sisters, they were older, so they were out of the house while we were in school. And by the time me and my brothers came along, I think my parents, they were gone like all the time. They were always taking off. We used to have these raging parties
I bet.
at our house. Oh my God. And I think now, holy shit. But yeah, so it was always like fun.
Yeah. Okay. So you go to New York. You get to travel around.
I go to New York. I travel the world. I have a blast in New York. I do really well at work. I loved my job. I loved it so much that, I remember in the shower every morning thinking about what am I going to do today and what's my next plan and blah, blah, blah. I just loved it.
Being excited about
yes,
going.
Loved it. And I knew a lot of people that I worked with that didn't love it. And I felt bad for them. Like, God, if only you could find, And I just absolutely loved it. And then I got an opportunity to go into wholesale. And I got offered a big job, a president of a company, a luxury wholesaler, and I took the job. And it was time, though, because I was getting like, you can only do something for so long, and it's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
And I couldn't go any higher at Saks. So I did that for a handful of years, but I didn't love wholesale like I loved retail. A lot of it, even though I was the president, you're still selling. You still have customers. And I think because I was in retail so much, and one part of retail that I did not like, not all of them, but the ass kissing. And the people just like doing anything they can to get your business. And it was just
not you.
Not me.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
And so that, I wasn't too in love with it, but I stuck it out for quite a while. And then I just stopped having a passion for it all.
Uh-huh.
And at the same time, my father had advanced dementia. And I had been thinking a few years before, like, okay, what if I move back to California? What do I do? What can I do? But, you're like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I had come home for my brother Joseph's wedding.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, oh boy, I need to come back.
Because you kind of saw.
Oh yeah, my dad was really like, the flight home, I rented a car from SFO, and I remember driving from my parents' house in San Juan up to the airport, in the lounge, then the ride from the airport back to my apartment in New York, I cried for probably 18 hours straight.
Oh.
It was awful.
Ugh.
So soon after that, I came home.
Yeah.
Hardest thing I ever did, but best thing I ever did.
So you were there to help out with your dad?
Yes. So he was alive for 2 years. The first year he was at the house. The second year he had to go to a nursing home.
Okay.
But I was at the nursing home every day.
Yeah. And your mom was trying to take care of him, or what was?
He would go, so before I came home, he would go to daycare 5 days a week, but then they ended that. And I remember coming home and I ran into my mom in the grocery store, because I stopped at the grocery store first to pick up stuff for the house.
Yeah.
For my brother's wedding. And I saw my mom, and she was a toothpick.
Aww.
I didn't even recognize her. She was in her late 70s, and it was heartbreaking.
Couldn't do it, yeah.
And my oldest sister, did a lot, but she lived so far away.
Okay.
But she took care of the finances and the banking and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, I came home, and it was hard, but I'm so grateful I did.
Yeah.
My father's home for a year, and then he goes to a nursing home, and I'm doing that. And then he passes away. But while he was in the nursing home, I started helping with a little local paper in San Juan.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of volunteering.
Yeah.
I finally got it cleaned up enough and fixed up enough where it was back on track.
Uh-huh.
And the bills were being paid. And then after a couple of years, the publisher, we weren't aligned. Mm-hmm. So I quit. I didn't like that model so much, but I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
Huge change.
Right.
New York City for 15 years, living alone.
Yeah.
San Francisco for 11.
Yeah.
So.
And then San Juan, this little tiny place.
And I mean, I was super independent. Like, I would just take off, go anywhere, and not tell anybody.
Yeah.
When I was, of course, all of a sudden I had to let everybody know where I was.
Right.
So that was a big, But anyway, so I was helping with this paper, and it just wasn't right for me. So I left, and of course it went out of business like a month later. So then a year after I left that paper, I was at Bear's Hideaway.
Okay.
In San Juan.
Uh-huh.
It was November 8th. It was a full moon in Taurus, because I'm really into like all that stuff. And my moon is in Taurus. And I was at Bear's Hideaway with a group of ladies, and someone said, I wish we had a local paper again. And my cousin Teresa Lavanino, who also, she lives in Kona, but she's here all the time. Same situation. She said to me, do it. And she would never, ever, ever say do something if she, A, didn't think I could do it, or B, didn't think it was viable. And I just said, okay. And everything fell into place.
Wow.
And it was just, I look back at it, it's amazing.
Yeah. How do you start? Like, how do you start?
Well, the first thing I did, so the art director of the paper that I worked for before, he was amazing. And he's up in San Jose. And I said to Teresa, I said, if he says yes, then it's all systems go. Sent him an email. He said yes. Knew a lot of stuff because I knew the printers. And and, got prices and then kind of gathered up a crew and we came up with a concept and it just worked out.
Wow.
Knew some of the advertisers from the previous paper, then started building it. I absolutely love it. One of the biggest challenges was because I'm not into sales. I'm not going to be, I don't want to be in the grocery store and people running from me because I think I'm going to be hitting them up for Mercy ads.
Right.
So I just okay, I didn't have to because, I was at the house and with my parents. I didn't need a huge income.
Right.
So I was able to just okay, I'm just going to build it and the rest will follow. And that's what happened. So that happened and it's been great and it's been so much fun. My mother passed away in 2023. So there was all of that.
Right.
And, she then had advanced dementia.
Oh, gosh.
So I was there and I had help, but you want everything, the house to run perfect, this and that, the doctor's appointment. I didn't want to be this. I wanted to be very, very much a part of her life.
Present at that point.
So it was a lot.
And your siblings are probably depending on you for that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Again, the best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
I love it now because it's very creative. I get to meet a lot of different people. I have to use my business head.
Right.
I have deadlines. So I can't just be, I'll do it whenever, there's real responsibility.
Yeah.
So, and it's gotten a lot easier. My mom passed away, so I don't have all of that. I miss her dearly, but I find joy. And I did this when I got to the house, I remember. I love doing dishes, hand washing dishes, and folding laundry because I see immediate results.
Yeah, that's a good point.
When I was in the corporate world, you do a buy 6 to 8 months out. I was always in a different season.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Those kind of things, and I still enjoy that, and it's kind of like meditation.
Yeah, that's a huge change. Leaving a really successful career and jumping or falling into something that you have you're just jumping into the abyss kind of. What gave you that? Do you think? And we're not talking about money because money is irrelevant.
It is irrelevant.
Taking a leap.
Exactly.
I really believe that.
So when I was in my 30s, this never would have happened. Definitely ego driven. Definitely just me.
Yeah.
I. And even as I reached 40, I started thinking about things, but there was still an ego there. This is what I am. This is my identity.
Yeah.
This is, I make all this money.
Yeah.
And then, getting spiritual, but I think that I was always meant, getting really, but I listened to all these podcasts, as you know.
It's totally fine.
But,
this is a safe space.
Okay, so it's said, and I do believe it, that your spirit, you decide with other spirits to come and experience, and you decide what your experiences are going to be. And I think this was a decision my spirit said, because a lot of people, well, I can't do that. You're so good. It's no, don't compare yourself. This was meant for me. You're meant to do something else. I don't know what it is, or maybe you already know, but this was definitely, and I've always had a very, very soft spot in my heart for elderly people.
Okay.
Really soft spot.
Yeah.
It was just the perfect timing.
Yeah.
I was sick and tired. I didn't have passion for what I was doing anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that was the universe giving me a nudge.
Yeah.
And then I saw my dad and
I
I saw my mom and a year or two before, no, 2 years before I moved home, my brother, my older brother, he and his wife had a baby with Down syndrome.
Oh, gosh.
And we were all just, of course, loved the baby,
Right.
but just, and so when the baby was a few months old, or about 5 months old, they were in New York, and so I went to go see them. And when I had to leave them, I broke down in tears. Like, I mean, it was weird. It shocked me. I just like, whew.
Yeah.
So it's just all these little things.
Yeah. To me, it's like listening to that voice inside of you that is so often silenced.
Yes.
By your logic, by your checkbook,
ego.
your ego, by someone else, by whatever it is. And it's really hard for me to find that voice a lot of times. But when I do, I'm like, no, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that kind of reminds me of what you're talking about, because whether it's something, another spirit or something, whether it was in my gut, I don't know. I don't know where.
Isn't it amazing?
But it really is something like, I cannot do this anymore, or I have to do this thing. And I think that so many people, I have friends that, well, you should go do that. Oh, I can't do that because of this, and this. Like, you're finding all these reasons instead of going, how can I do this? Because I really need to do this.
Right.
So I think it's interesting when people actually listen and go, oh yeah, I'm gonna.
And sometimes when you don't listen, the universe forces you.
Yeah, true.
It creates conditions.
True.
Like, I started to really not like what I was doing.
Yeah.
And that was really hard for me because I always had such passion. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Because I can't just go work for someone and,
Right.
that's just, what am I going to do? Am I not going to have a passion anymore?
Yeah.
That was really devastating.
Yeah.
Thinking to myself, oh my God, I need to have a passion.
Yeah. But I know exactly what you're talking about, because then you see people that have that passion and you go, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Or you see people that are just going through their lives without it.
I know.
And looking back, like at your childhood or maybe your teen years, that like prepared you to run a magazine or to run a newspaper? Like, do you look back and go, oh, that's why this happened to me as a kid?
I never realized it, but my parents, mainly my father, he had subscriptions to every magazine under the sun. And we had this big basket in our living room. And it was full of, Sports Illustrated, Gourmet, Newsweek, Time, you name it. And he was always reading them. And then on the weekends, every Sunday, big kitchen table, we'd have, the Chronicle, Examiner.
Yeah.
What else? What was and the Mercury. And he would take it apart, and I would, and my brothers too. And we would always read the comics first because we were little. But we had stacks, reading it, and I loved it. And when I moved to San Francisco, same thing. I spent my Sundays. And then New York, the New York Times, I would, just spread the whole thing out on the floor and my stacks in priority.
Wow.
And I've always read tons of magazines. I was really into...
And there's nothing like a magazine. I know that I'm not sure if our the next generation is going to care about it, but when I'm just drinking my coffee or doing something, I don't want to look at my phone. I want a magazine. I want to look at the ads. I want to read the articles, because I'm not going to click on an article that I'm not interested in. But in a magazine, you just come upon it, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, I didn't know anything about this, and I never would have clicked on it on my phone.
It's true. And it's just very tactile.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when I started it, like, it's kind of amazing how the response has been.
Yeah.
But I just got to keep it interesting. That's the key.
Yeah.
People love to look at pictures.
Definitely. And they like to see their friends in there or people they know, especially in this area.
Oh, yes. So we have like a steadfast, our mantra is no politics, no crime, no religion. You can advertise it, but we're not going to cover it.
Smart.
And then, of course, we never want to do anything to like embarrass or insult or, there's been a couple of times, but not too often, I've had pictures sent for Been There, Done That, which Carla came up with that.
It's cute.
So I'm like, I don't want society. I don't want out on the town. And she's like, Been There, Done That. I'm like, perfect. So deadpan. But anyway, a couple of times we've had to say, oh, these are not flattering photos. We just can't do it.
Oh, that's nice.
But for the most part, it's
Yeah.
been,
That's really cool. I
Yeah.
love it. I really do.
Thanks. It's fun.
And I do like if I don't go to a lot of places in Hollister anymore. We're so close to, Gilroy.
Yeah.
And so I don't go into a lot of places that have your magazine there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'll look at it online.
Yeah,
But it's
okay.
not the same. It really
It's
isn't.
better.
I would so much rather
Yeah.
see it and hold it and have it. And so my parents, I'll probably have to cut this out, but we got 3 magazines at our house. We got Sunset.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we did that one
We
too.
had Sunset, People.
Okay.
So my mom loved People magazine, and Playboy.
Oh, my.
My brother's friends loved coming over and using my parents' bathroom.
Oh, yeah, with Playboy.
There was
Oh, my God.
a stack, and he didn't throw anything away. He probably still has all those Playboys.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So
Oh, that's hysterical.
and Ryan's friends, one time we invited another family with 2 boys up to my parents' cabin in Twain Harte, and upstairs I had totally forgotten, but there was like a stack of Playboys under the bed. And the parents and Angelo and I are downstairs, we're cooking dinner, and all the boys are upstairs, and finally it dawned on me like, oh no, these 10-year-old boys are up there just devouring probably those Playboys. And I was so embarrassed. Like, do I tell these people? Do I just pretend like
What'd
I
you
didn't
do?
know? I think I told them, they're probably going through the Playboys.
Oh, my God.
It was not a good parent moment at all.
Oh,
It was
my
like,
God.
boy, I think they really got an education upstairs. I guess in the grand scheme of now with the internet, the Playboy is pretty tame.
I was watching this thing where right as Trump took office and he was talking about tariffs, I guess Pornhub must be headquartered in Canada.
Oh.
And so there's this funny joke that they were gonna, cut because America's like the biggest consumer of Pornhub.
Oh my God.
They were gonna cut off America from
That's
Pornhub.
awesome.
I thought that was hysterical.
Well, so what do you think your superpower is?
I think I have I just know. I don't think and I don't believe. I know things always work out for the best. Even when I was a young kid.
And do you think that made you a little more fearless?
Yes, for sure. I will say, it's a funny thing you say about fear, though. Definitely, it's good to do things like the crazy stuff when you're young.
Yeah.
Like move to New York City alone.
Yeah.
And, shit like that because you don't know better.
Right.
And
agree.
also you can rough it a little bit more.
Yeah.
The older you get, the more
Yeah.
pampered you get.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I'm not going to live in that place.
Right.
Or,
Yeah.
Yes, it's made me less fearful.
Yeah.
And I think age, you just know, like, okay, I've made it this far.
Yeah.
And all those things that when you were younger that were so daunting.
Yeah.
You're like, oh God, there's
I
nothing.
know.
I found because, there's certain things that I don't like dealing with. And it's like, oh God. And for example, getting all your paperwork together to send to your tax guy.
Ugh. Yeah.
I dread it.
I
and
know.
dread. And then when I sit down to do it, because everything's automated and you
Yeah.
click a button, you go
Yeah.
here. It's like, why did I spend so much time, like about 3 weeks, dreading it?
I know. I'm the same
I
way.
hate that.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that.
Yeah.
Like, just do it. Now what I do is when I have, because I'm really into lists and I get such pleasure crossing things off my list.
And are you a paper list or a phone list?
Paper.
Okay. Me
I
too.
was phone, but I like,
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
I'm really into legal pads.
Oh. Okay.
And I have a clipboard, and I love it. I know. You're like, what the?
I'm the same way. I love lists. I love calendars that I can turn the page and then clip it. And I do love that.
I do. So the calendar, I do the phone, and then I have one of those, calendar books.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
So I do both.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? I get pleasure. Oh, so now what I do is when I start my day, I always go after the hardest thing on the list first.
Smart.
And then it motivates me. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is easy. This is
Yeah.
like, and it's always something that I thought was going to be a lot harder.
Right. And it's not that big of a deal.
No.
Yeah.
Someone asked me once before too, do you have hobbies? I'm like, no, I don't. I don't like craft or anything. I'm a real morning person. Like, I'm up at 4.
Oh my gosh.
I
Okay,
love
I'm
to
not
get
a
up in
morning
the
person
dark.
then.
I love, now it's just me, but before, what was my mom? But,
Yeah.
there was always
Yeah,
family visiting.
yeah.
It was kind of like a lot of people in
I
and
bet.
out of the house.
Yeah.
But I get up, I read the headlines, I read my email, I have my coffee, and I hike like 5.5 miles every morning.
Every morning?
I do the
Good
De Anza
for
Trail,
you.
and there's one. Okay, here's something really, really important. I've always, when I lived in New York, I had a blast. I was, but I didn't realize one thing. And I used to go to the park because I lived right near Central Park, so I'd walk there a lot. But I didn't realize until I came back how much I missed nature.
Yeah.
I mean, it has really
Yeah.
helped me
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
And I hike that. I mean, yes, I get physical benefits, but it's more for my mind.
Yeah,
Going
yeah.
up there and I'm quiet.
Yeah. That's a hobby.
I guess I think it's more of my meditation.
Yeah. But I think that counts.
But I do the same hill
Yeah.
every day. People are like, don't you get tired of it? I'm like, no, it
Yeah.
looks different every day. It's just, so without that hill, I don't think,
Well, you would have found something else. I think you would have found something else.
I'm sure I would have.
You
Things
would've.
always work out for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One thing I recommend, but it's not for everyone, is just walking in nature in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
I like the morning because it's really fresh. Mm-hmm. It clears your
Yeah.
head. Like
Yeah.
it's a really,
There is something about going out in nature and
in fact, yesterday, finally it slowed enough, but I was like, oh my God, it's raining. But it's
Yeah.
usually it'll go in the rain.
Yeah.
But it's kind of coming down hard. I'm like, it's a little it's dark
Yeah.
out still.
Yeah.
That's not safe.
yeah.
Then it lightened up just enough, and it just helped me because I've gotten to the point where I can't do anything
Yeah.
until I do that.
Yeah.
What's really funny is, so I start right now. I've been starting between like 5:30 and 6, so it's dark,
Oh my gosh.
and that's late for me. But in the summer I go a lot earlier
Yeah.
because,
Oh,
but
gosh.
we all have our little headlights.
Oh my gosh.
And as I'm going up, there's these 3 older guys in their 70s. They're coming down.
Oh my gosh. Good for them.
Yeah.
Well, you would love Canada because the sun doesn't go. It
Yeah, I
comes up
know.
at 4 and it goes down at like 10.
God, it'd be awesome.
It's crazy.
I would just go and go and go and go.
It's crazy.
That's what calms me, is
Yeah.
walking.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, really, just to be out in nature. And I never realized that until I came back. And
Yeah.
just like, God, it's so beautiful here.
Yeah.
I'm still in
it
awe.
is. I know.
I
We-
remember
yeah.
telling someone in New York, because, you go to the Hamptons, but you have to drive through Long Island, and you have to go through a lot of ugly to get to pretty in a lot of places in this world.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And there are, like, even,
Yeah.
you land at De Gaulle, it's disgusting to drive into, and then you're in Paris, and it's beautiful. I was telling someone, I said, there's a lot of places you have to go through ugly to get to pretty, but not in, the part of California that
Yeah.
I'm from.
Yeah.
It is all so
Yeah.
pretty.
It's true. Yeah.
It is so beautiful here.
It is. And yeah.
There is, because I'm a little addicted to YouTube, and I don't have their name, but there's this couple from the UK.
Okay.
And they're probably in their 30s. And he does most of the talking. And he's a big, buff guy with tattoos, but he just loves America. Loves it, loves it, loves it. And they're kind of chronicling all of their travels.
Yeah.
And they're just blown away at the beauty and the climate.
Yeah.
Especially California.
Yeah. It's hard to beat. I mean, all those people that moved out like during COVID,
Oh, God.
are they just are they
I don't know.
I mean, are they going, what the fuck did we do?
We're weather pussies here.
That's
So
true.
you move to Idaho.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a gazillionaire, you're fucked
Yeah.
when you get older.
I know.
Right?
Yes. And if you're a woman, you're really fucked if you move to Idaho.
Yes.
Thank you for joining me on today's adventure. Special thanks to my guest, Ann Caetano, for sharing her thoughts, experiences, and time with me. And of course, a huge shout out to my partner in crime, Ann Davis, also known as the Blair to my Natasha. If you like this episode or have a suggestion for a potential guest, please email me at gxtrustfall@gmail.com.